Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into a couple of really powerful ideas, things that can genuinely shift how you chase your goals.
Yeah, that's right.
We've been looking at this YouTube video. It's from the English Dialogue podcast. Mike and Emma were talking about never give up on your dreams and work smart, not hard.
Right, those two.
Ryan.
Often heard, but how do they actually work together?
Exactly. So, our mission here is to unpack how these two ideas, they seem simple, but how they actually fuel each other. The goal is achieving more with less wasted effort.
Hmm. Making your work count.
Think of this as your concentrated dose of insight. Get straight to the good stuff.
Okay, sounds good. Mike and Emma gave us a great jumping off point. It's really interesting to think about how you truly weave these into, your everyday life.
Not just slogans on a wall.
Precisely.
Yeah.
We want to dig deeper than just the surface level, find that practical synergy that actually drives results for people listening.
Okay, let's start with the first one then. Never give up on your dreams. When we say that, what's the real core of it?
Well, fundamentally, it's about persistence,
Okay.
that commitment to something you're passionate about, even when you hit roadblocks, major roadblocks sometimes.
So resilience,
Okay.
self-belief.
Absolutely. It's cultivating that resilience, bouncing back from setbacks, and holding on to a basic belief that you can get there eventually. Mike and Emma really hit on that.
And they had some great examples,
Mhm.
like J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter. I mean, everyone knows the magic of Harry Potter.
Right.
It's hard to imagine a world without those books now. But what's the lesson beyond just, she got rejected a lot?
Well, what's really insightful about her story isn't just the rejections, though there were many. It's that unwavering belief she had in the story itself.
Mm-hmm.
She kept tweaking it, kept sending it out. It really speaks to this deep inner conviction that wasn't put out by all that initial no.
Yeah, that really makes you think, how often do we let that first no or second or third just stop us?
Exactly. A powerful question for sure.
Yeah.
And then there's Thomas Edison, the light bulb. That quote about finding 10,000 ways it won't work. It's iconic.
It is. And the light bulb, I mean, think about its significance.
So what's the deeper takeaway from his persistence?
I think Edison's journey shows a really crucial mindset shift. Each failure wasn't like the end of the road.
Right.
It was data, information for the next try. It was this systematic process, elimination, all driven by that final vision.
So for listeners, it's about maybe reframing failure, seeing it as part of the process.
Precisely. Failure becomes an essential step, not a reason to quit.
Yeah, that's a good point. Progress isn't always, a straight line up. And Mike and Emma also stressed that this idea of perseverance, it's not just for these huge world-changing dreams.
No, absolutely not.
It applies to smaller, more personal goals, too.
Definitely. Whether you're learning an instrument, trying to get fitter, tackling a tough project at work, that same core tenacity, that refusal to just throw in the towel easily, it's just as vital. Emma shared a really personal story, quite moving actually, about her friend Sarah.
Ah, yes, the dancer.
Yeah, overcame serious injuries, financial problems, all to become a professional dancer with a big company. That phrase, unwavering commitment, really stuck with me.
Hmm. What stands out about Sarah's story, I think, is the sustained, focused effort against really significant odds.
Right.
It wasn't just about wanting it really badly. It was making those consistent choices, day in, day out, choices aligned with her goal, even when they were incredibly hard.
Shows that dreams often need marathon effort, not just that initial sprint of excitement.
Exactly. That initial burst fades, but the commitment has to endure.
Okay, so we've got this powerful idea. Never give up. Now, let's switch to the other side. Work smart, not hard. How does that actually fit in? What does working smart really mean?
Well, essentially, it's about maximizing the effectiveness of the effort you were putting in.
Oh.
It's about being strategic. How do you use your time, your energy, your resources wisely to get the biggest impact possible? It's applying intelligence to your hustle, basically.
And Mike and Emma made a really key point about how this supports perseverance. It's not just grinding away endlessly.
No, absolutely not. That's the path to burnout.
Right. It's about directing that energy smartly.
Precisely. Working smart is, a deliberate contrast to simply clocking more hours.
Right.
It's about figuring out what actions really move the needle and focusing there, not getting stuck in busy work.
Quality over quantity of effort.
Exactly.
They gave some concrete examples, didn't they? Like prioritizing tasks, delegating if you can, using tools.
Yeah, practical stuff. And those seemingly simple things, how can they make a big difference? Well, think about the compounding effect.
Okay.
If you consistently focus on the high priority stuff, You make real, meaningful progress. Delegating frees you up for the things only you can do. Using tools automates the repetitive stuff, boosts efficiency. It creates this, like, upward spiral of productivity.
That makes sense. And you often hear Elon Musk mention in this context, right? Innovation impact.
Yeah, he's a common example.
Leading multiple successful companies at once.
Right.
It definitely highlights working smart. What can we maybe learn from his approach?
Well, if you look at Musk, it seems it's not just about long hours, though I'm sure there are plenty of those. It's about fundamentally questioning assumptions, right? Pushing boundaries, driving innovation, building incredibly efficient systems and teams. It's that constant search for better, faster ways to hit really ambitious targets.
And Mike and Emma also underlined that working smart isn't like a one-time fix. It's an ongoing thing, learning, adapting.
Exactly. The world changes, technology changes, your circumstances change, so your strategies have to evolve too. You need to stay curious, keep learning, and be willing to adjust your methods. Rigidity is kind of the enemy here.
Emma's personal example was good too, using project management software. Boosted her team's productivity, reduced stress.
Yeah, that was a great tangible illustration. Achieving more with less effort by strategically using a tool.
So what's the takeaway from that for listeners?
I think the key takeaway is about identifying those bottlenecks, those inefficiencies in your own work or life, and then proactively looking for a smarter solution. Could be technology, could be a different process, could be asking for help. But it's that proactive search for a better way. So for listeners, maybe reflect. Where could a more systematic or tool-based approach help you?
Okay, so we've looked at never give up and work smart separately. Now the big question, how do they actually boost each other? What's the real power when you combine them?
Well, the synergy is absolutely vital. Because, as Mike and Emma pointed out, sheer determination without a smart strategy, that can just lead straight to burnout.
Right, you're working incredibly hard, maybe feeling like you're giving it your all.
But you're spinning your wheels because you're not focused on the right things or you're doing them inefficiently. And ironically, that lack of progress can make you give up, even with all that initial commitment.
Exactly. So it's about fueling that drive, that persistence with intelligent planning. That gives you sustainable motivation, gets you real results. They're like two sides of the same coin.
That's a great way to put it. Think of it like this. Never give up is the long-term vision, the fuel, the grit.
Okay.
Work smart is the roadmap, the efficient engine, the navigation system that actually gets you there without running out of gas or getting lost. One without the other is often, well, incomplete.
That clarifies it nicely. And they used starting a business as a scenario to show this.
Yeah.
The difference between someone just toiling away, hoping for the best, versus someone with a focused strategic plan, the outcomes are usually worlds apart.
Right. And what's insightful there is how a good business plan, clear goals, understanding challenges, having strategic actions laid out, it acts as a framework. It channels all that entrepreneurial passion productively, stops the energy from just scattering everywhere and focuses it on what actually drives growth.
And a huge part of working smart, as they discussed, is time management. Seems obvious, but it's crucial.
Oh, absolutely crucial. It's not just what you do, but how you allocate your most precious resource, time.
So what does good time management look like in this context?
Well, it involves things like prioritizing tasks based on actual importance, not just urgency, setting realistic deadlines, and being really deliberate about minimizing distractions. It ensures your best energy goes to the highest impact activities.
Emma brought up the Eisenhower matrix. Useful tool for prioritizing urgency versus importance. How does that work quickly for anyone unfamiliar?
Sure. It's pretty simple, actually, but powerful. You basically divide tasks into 4 boxes.
Okay.
Urgent and important, do these now. Important but not urgent, schedule these, plan for them. Urgent but not important, delegate these if you possibly can. And not urgent and not important, eliminate these, just get rid of them.
It helps you focus on what truly matters.
Exactly. It gives you clarity. And like Mike added, even simple things like daily goals, using a calendar properly, they make a surprising difference in staying organized and focused.
Another key point they raised was continuous learning and adaptability. Strategies change. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow.
Totally. In this, fast-paced world we're in, staying open to new ideas, being willing to learn new skills, tweaking your methods based on feedback or new info, it's essential. You can't afford to be rigid if you want to keep working smart.
Emma's example, again, actively updating skills, workshops, networking, it showed that commitment to improvement. How does that connect directly to working smart?
Well, that proactive learning is working smart. It's an investment in your future effectiveness.
Oh, okay.
By staying current, learning new things, you equip yourself with better tools, better strategies to handle future challenges more efficiently. You're sharpening the saw, so to speak.
Right, makes sense. Now, let's shift just a bit. Mindset. It feels like the invisible engine behind all this.
Oh, absolutely. Mindset is, well, it's foundational. A positive, growth-oriented mindset underpins both the ability to persevere and the capacity to work smart.
How so?
If you believe you can learn and improve, that's the growth mindset. It fuels your resilience when you stumble. It also makes you more likely to look for better, smarter solutions instead of just banging your head against the same wall.
Mike and Emma really highlighted that growth mindset idea. Believing your abilities aren't fixed, that you can develop them, seeing setbacks not as I failed, but as I learned. How critical is that shift?
It's absolutely fundamental. Game-changing, really. When you view a setback as a learning opportunity, you're not just more likely to keep going. You're also actively looking for why it happened and how to do it better next time. It turns failure from a dead end into, like, a course correction, a stepping stone.
They even modeled this in a conversation snippet, didn't they, about starting an online business, the challenges involved?
Yeah, that was a good practical example. It showed how that initial I won't give up drive needs to be immediately paired with the work smart actions.
Like what?
Like, okay, great enthusiasm, now let's make a solid plan. Let's identify the key focus areas. Let's use some tools to manage this efficiently. It's about channeling that fire into focused action.
And emphasizing the planning, the project management tools.
Yeah,
It made those abstract ideas feel really concrete, really actionable.
exactly. It showed someone facing that common challenge. Okay, here's how you could apply these principles right now to not get overwhelmed and actually make progress.
They also covered some common hurdles. Fear of failure came up, lack of resources, time, money, support. And they offered work-smart ways around them.
Yeah, and the reframing was helpful there. Like fear of failure. Okay, work smart by breaking that huge goal down into tiny, manageable steps.
Makes it less scary.
Right. Celebrate the small wins. Build momentum, lack of resources.
Yeah.
Work smart by ruthlessly prioritizing the highest impact stuff you can with what you have. Get creative. Maybe collaborate. Delegate or eliminate low-value tasks.
And the idea of seeking mentorship, building a support network, that's definitely a work-smart strategy too, isn't it? Not trying to figure everything out alone.
Oh, hugely valuable. Mentors have been there, done that. They can save you so much time and pain
Yeah.
by helping you avoid pitfalls, see shortcuts, find more efficient ways.
Yeah.
And just having that support network for encouragement, accountability, it helps you stay the course, which ties back to perseverance too.
And finally, something often overlooked, but they gave it proper attention. Self-care.
Yes, so important. You can't sustain the drive or the clear thinking needed for smart work if you're running on empty.
It's not an indulgence.
Absolutely not. As Mike and Emma said, enough sleep, decent food, exercise, taking actual breaks. It's fundamental. It's about maintaining your energy, your focus, your motivation for the long haul. Burnout kills
Yeah.
both perseverance and smart work.
It's that reminder that ultimately you are the engine driving towards your dream. Neglecting the engine, well, that undermines the whole journey.
Precisely. When you're rested, healthy, mentally clear, you're just better equipped. Better equipped to push through challenges and better equipped to think strategically about the smartest path forward.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the final sort of actionable nuggets for listeners? How do they really integrate this never give up plus work smart combo?
Well, Mike and Emma summed it up nicely. Key things would be set clear, achievable goals. Break them down. Have that roadmap.
Right.
Prioritize your tasks. Focus on importance and impact. Stay adaptable. Keep learning. Be open to new ways. Actively seek support and mentorship. Don't go it alone. And crucially, prioritize your self-care. Treat it as non-negotiable. These are really the pillars holding up that powerful synergy.
And the core message, really, as they put it so clearly, is that the most effective way to make your dreams reality is through that blend. Unwavering determination combined with smart, strategic effort.
Exactly. It's not just grit. It's not just clever tactics. It's the thoughtful, consistent application of both that leads to real, sustainable achievement.
So a final thought for everyone listening as they go about their wit. Think about a dream, maybe one you've kind of put on the back burner. What's one small strategic step you could take today, just one, to maybe reignite that? Consciously applying both that persistent drive and a smarter approach. That's your challenge to explore. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.